Hi, welcome to Play With Your Food, and it's 7:30 in the morning, so still not functional up here. Anyway, I was looking in my fridge, and I do have a lot of leftover rice, so I thought to myself, why not make fried rice for breakfast? However, we're gonna break it down to what it takes to make that Chinese golden fried rice takeout that costs like, what, 12 bucks? So you can do this at home. However, there's gonna be like little key things that you have to consider to achieve that. But first, let me go ahead and make my coffee. So come join me and let's go ahead and play with our food. All right, so first things first, the pan that you're gonna be using to fry your rice. First, you want a pan that it's, well, technically non-stick or a very well seasoned wok. That way you don't form that rice crust in the bottom when you're frying rice. I'm sure like a lot of you have experienced that. And because when you have that rice crust in the bottom, you'll end up like not frying your rice at all. So that's one key thing. Second is that you want a big surface area. So I have my wok, and the reason being is that you are frying your rice evenly all throughout the cooking process. Another key thing is that definitely you want a day-old rice. You don't want a freshly cooked rice because it's still kind of wet and you'll end up with a mushy rice as well. So those are two key things. Very important, follow those, and then you'll end up with like a great fried rice. All right, so first things first is choosing your protein. So I do have a cured ground pork, and I'm gonna go render the fat first. It depends on which protein you guys are gonna be using. So if you use like ground beef, ground pork, or chicken with skin, you wanna render the fat first, that way you can get more flavor. Of course, if you're using shrimp, you want to cook the shrimp first and then set it aside. That way you do not overcook your shrimp during the cooking process. Now that you have rendered the fat from the ground pork, you want to set this aside, and then we will work on our aromatics. So the next step to our fried rice is the aromatics. So we'll start with the onions, followed by the ginger, then finally the garlic. So you want to saute this until the onions are translucent. This not only gives you a lot of aroma, definitely it gives that a lot of flavor to your fried rice. You can add different types of aromatics. You can use celery or even carrots. And then once this is done, we will add our vegetables. So you can pick whichever vegetables you want. In my case, I picked a frozen vegetable from the grocery store, and we'll just add this. And then this is another thing. So the vegetable is full of liquid. So what you want to do is really cook this thoroughly until the liquid is gone. Not completely gone, but at least dry enough. That way, when you add the rice later, you don't end up with a mushy rice. Now that the vegetables are cooked, we are going to add the rest of our protein. At least your choice. So I just happen to have this crab sticks, and I was planning to make some California rolls, and I ended up not doing it. So I guess more protein to my fried rice then. And I found out when you cook crab sticks, it actually tastes like fish cakes. So there's that extra flavor, I guess. Now you can add the rest of your cooked ground pork. And then we will just toss this some more so we can marry all the flavors of the aromatics, the ground pork, the crab sticks, the whole 9 yards. After a good mixing, you want to kind of scooch the meat and vegetables on the side to make room for your scrambled eggs. So you just want to kind of swirl this around to cook the eggs. And then you don't want to mix this right away because you want the chunk of scrambled eggs into your fried rice. Once your scrambled eggs are cooked, you want to toss this all together, and then at this point you can add whichever sauce you want. If you're looking for Indonesian, you can add sambal and sweet soy sauce, or Thai, you can add Thai chili paste. For me, I'm adding a Chinese flavor to it, so we'll add some sesame oil, some soy sauce, and then finally some oyster sauce. And then you just want to mix this all together. So after mixing this, you want to add your rice. And then we will season this with a little bit of salt and some pepper. And then you want to toss this until every grain of rice is coated with the sauce. So we are almost done, and this is what I was talking about. It's very important that you do have a non-stick or a very well seasoned wok. That way you are actually frying the rice. And then second is that having a day-old rice, so you don't end up with a clump of sticky rice or sticking together, and you actually have a fried rice. All right, there you have it, your very own fried rice. And just remember the key things, and I hope you guys try this at home. And if you learned a lot from this recipe, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys in my next episode, and thank you for watching Play With Your Food.